Okay, welcome back to Miss Hannah's art demos. I'm on part 3 of my Zentangle animals demo. So, what we did was we looked at a photograph, outlined it, made our outlines, and then we broke it up into some smaller shapes, almost like a stained glass window. And then what I did was I did that all in pencil, and then I outlined it in my micron pen. Another thing that's good about these is that they're waterproof, and we're going to be watercoloring this later, so it's good that we have something waterproof so it doesn't bleed when we add water. Okay, so now that I have this all broken up into shapes, we have the fun part of adding zentangles, which are a special kind of doodle. So I'm going to show you some examples that I found on the internet. Some really lovely patterns and shapes and designs. I was kind of searching all over the place. Basically, there are lots of different kinds that you can do, and I'm going to show you a few right now. So the whole point of breaking this up is so that we can do some different patterns in different parts. So I'm going to start with this one. I have some step-by-steps here. I am not sure what this one is called. They all have fun and interesting names. The picture quality isn't great on this, but we're going to try it together. Okay, I'm going to start on this section right here on the arm, just for fun. Okay, so we start with some diagonal lines across the shape. Try and keep them evenly spaced. This is not something that you want to do super quickly. It's nice to take your time. Next we're going to do some perpendicular, kind of curved diagonal lines across the other way. And I'm doing this all in pen. Don't practice with pencil first. It'll take a really long time. Okay, next we're going to add some squares at every intersection. So add some squares and color them in. Square, square, square. Again, work slowly, take your time. You can fast forward this part if you don't want to watch the whole thing, but it's kind of fun. Or just follow along as I'm doing it. That's what you should be doing. Following along. And my squares are kind of curved on the edges. Sorry for the plane noises. My squares are a little curved on the outsides. See how I kind of messed up there? No big deal. It'll get incorporated into my design. Last one, here we go. Okay, so that already looks kind of cool, right? Now I'm going to make it look way cooler. Okay, so here they're starting with a center 4 piece. This is my biggest centerpiece. So what I'm going to do is start in the middle and draw lines that kind of bow outward. So I'm going to go out to this side, out to this side, like this, kind of like a balloon expanding outward. And then opposite that, I'm going to do the same thing. Outward, like a balloon. Then the other way, I'm going to go the opposite direction. So I'm actually going to turn this because it's easier for me. Always feel free to turn your paper if you want to make things easier on yourself. So I'm going to go starting in the center and then ballooning out. Center, ballooning out. Already looks pretty cool, huh? Next, what I'm going to do is fill in all of my vertical ones along these rows. So just to the left of my top first one there, I'm going to go like that. Even if they're hiding behind something, we're going to go like that. This one's a vertical. Okay, so next, on my way down, I'm going to skip this row and do my verticals here. Remember, follow along with me here, don't just watch. Especially when I'm doing a bunch of stuff like this. Keep them curved, keep them bowing out like that. Here I don't have another diagonal, I should have one right there. So kind of fixing that. Curve, 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 curve. And then these are also going to be vertical this way. Even if they're right at the edge, don't forget those little guys at the very edge. They're important. Make it look like your pattern goes on forever and ever, which is a really cool effect. Okay, so now I have all my vertical ones. Oh, here's this little guy. I have all my vertical ones now. Now I'm going to turn it around like I did before and do all my horizontal ones. But now they're vertical because I switched my paper around. Now these are easier. You don't have to pick and choose which ones to do. You just know they're the only ones left. So even though this pattern looks really complicated, if you do it in some simple steps, it's not so bad. Take your time, relax, don't worry about minor mistakes. It still looks awesome even with some minor mistakes. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? Alright, so we've done our first section. Congratulations. Next, I'm going to pick something else that I think is cool. So, how about this pattern? Again, looks pretty complicated, but it's not too bad. So, let's start. We're going to go, this actually goes like this, and then like this, and then like this. Okay, so again, this is another sort of diagonal lines pattern, so I'm going to make this one not super close to this one because they're somewhat similar. I'm going to make it over here on her head, this little spot. Okay, so again, we're going to start off with curved diagonal lines, or just non-diagonal lines. Curved lines kind of separated from each other. And then we're going to have some going the opposite direction. They should kind of make little squares or diamonds. Okay? Next, what we're going to do is make some little triangles inside of those. So they start from an edge. They start from the middle of a box and go inward to the middle. So they're just kind of like corners of squares. Do you guys kind of see that? So here, I'll just start right here. I'm going to go from this side to this side, like that. Make this one, See, I'm basically just like dividing these squares and taking a quarter out of them. Doesn't matter if it's perfect, but try and be kind of precise. This one should be a little longer. Okay. Remember, don't forget those little corner guys. They'll get ya. Okay. Now we're going to take some time and fill in each of these boxes we just made. You can either fill them in completely, or you can add a little bit of spaces like I'm doing. That's okay too. And make that one a little bigger. Whenever you're filling stuff in, try and use your lines going the same direction every time. It looks nicer. It looks more professional that way. See, I'm doing these sort of diagonal shading thing and keeping that consistent. Okay, now I've got sort of, looks almost like scales or something. Then I'm just going to add one extra thing, and I'm going to take this point to this point, so corner to corner. And it's going to make it pop and look really three-dimensional. Corner to corner, corner to corner, corner to corner. These corners are kind of off the edge, so I'm taking them off the edge. Whoa, see how suddenly it looks kind of three-dimensional? Check that out. Whoa. And then here's the close-up of my other one. So even though they both started with just straight lines, they can turn out really differently. So again, I don't know what that one's called, but it's a pretty cool one. Then I'm just going to do a couple more to show you guys. Now let's do... Oh, this one's cool. Maybe that one. And I'll have some of these in class for you guys to check out because they are very fun and informative. Okay, so let's do this one actually. This is one of my favorites. It's called Betweed. Okay. I'm going to start just opposite the one I just did. So you start with your section and you're going to draw 3 lines divided into 6 sections. So just start with a line, make one going opposite, and then make one more. Okay? Now start with a section. I'm going to start with this bottom section and come from this corner here and stop right here. So here to here. And then add a little foot. Add a little dark triangle there. Next, what I'm going to do is move from this corner to here, across like that, and I'm going to add a little foot there. and then I go back. Sort of like playing ping pong, bouncing back and forth. Or like tennis. This side. Now, this side. Now, this side. And then we're going to do one last one that goes across to this side. Okay, so this is kind of on a curve, so it's a little tricky. Now, we're going to do the same thing over here. Start on this corner, go to here, do a little foot, this corner to that line, this corner to that line. Just back and forth. And then one last one. Back to here. Okay? I like this one. I think it's kind of fun. Just moving along here to here. Don't forget to add those little dark feet. They really help adding this sort of dimension to it. This one I'm going to bounce back to here. This one's getting a little messed up here. That's okay. We can kind of change it up if we need to. See, that one got a little messed up. That's okay though. Okay, moving on to here. See how I'm literally spinning my paper around? That can be really helpful. Or if you want to just work from the same spot, that's okay too, like this. I think I'm going to leave that one like that. Moving on to here. Again, work with me or fast forward. And then last section. And I think I'm done. So check that out. I can kind of even out some of them. Looks almost like a spider web. Futuristic looking dog here. Okay. I think I'm going to pause for now. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys next time.